Hi everybody, welcome back. It's your favorite sports channel, The Sports Way, back with another episode of cricket. I'm Saranan and hosting Kanishk, Kunal, Sriram, and Gautam for a talk about IPL retention and what the teams must be doing going forward. So let's hear from these four players who are off-field players, analyze and portray what on-field players are doing. So to set the flow of the event or the discussion today, let's start with the surprise picks that teams made. So, who do you think is a surprise pick that the teams made? You can go anyone or by order. Gautam, you can start.
I would say I was first very much amazed to see SRH picking two domestic players at that amount. Like they would have potential, but with Umran Malik, you really don't know. You haven't tested him anywhere. He has done well in 2 3 matches, but you aren't going to pay that much amount for him. And also going Mayank Agarwal for 14 crores also was little bit dicey. He's having a very good year, but for 14 crores, I'm not very sure about the amount. Whether he would have gone that more than that in the auction.
Right? What do you think, Kunal?
See, the points which Gautam made about the SRH and Punjab are really valid. And moreover, if I see going with the players that are in RCB, so dropping Devdutt Padikal is something which I believe is not a good thing because he was in sublime form for the past 2 3 seasons, and having a top player in the having a opening Indian player in the top team, so it really gives an edge. And moreover, the conditions which suits him in playing those shots is really immense. So I believe Devdutt Padikal is something which should be taken into consideration. And yeah,
Kanish, these two players have said about their surprise picks. Who do you think, apart from the players mentioned, is a surprise retention?
Is a surprise retention. Like I think Dhoni, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, definitely. Okay, he's a great captain and all, but as a batsman, he has no contribution on the pitch. And apart from that, they didn't retain Fab du Plessis. Like Gaikwad and Fab du Plessis together scored more than 70 to 80% of the runs for Chennai in the previous IPL, and you just broke off that pair, man. Like it's gonna be devastating for Chennai if they didn't get him back in the auction, mega auction.
That was a very brave comment, Kanish. Really brave,
Yeah,
quoting MSD as a surprise pick. What do you
yeah,
think? Let's hear it from the man, Chennai fan, Sriram.
So actually, like I feel Moeen Ali was a surprise retention. So as Kanish said, like they could have gone for Fab to places, but we don't know like for how many more years he will play. So I think like maybe that's why they had gone for Moeen Ali, but he has just joined CSK like before 2 years, and like based on these 2 years performance, like I'm not sure that like whether they can be like having so much confidence on him, and he can like I don't know whether he'll be able to give his potential.
like I have
So I
All
one
think
right.
point.
that was a surprising pick.
Sivam said we don't know how long Faf is gonna play, or we also don't know how long Dhoni is gonna play. And if you compare like who's a better batsman and contributor, so you know what I'm
The
going to
thing
say.
with Faf is like I know Dhoni is also not playing continuously. With Faf is he's out of the national team, and we
Yeah.
don't know how much cricket he has domestic wise. So it's always dicey for overseas players to play in domestic Indian conditions without any practice.
see, if age has
So
been the barrier, then CSK wouldn't have been the contest because CSK are known for retaining aged players, and the average age has been around 32 to 33. So age can't be a factor, and moreover, if we are in that age, so there are chances that the player might not be playing in the national team and just dropping off and playing in the seasonal tournaments. So this is
That's
something which
that's what I was
APT
going to say.
Williams, for
Faf,
example.
like
yeah,
I
definitely.
I would like to add one thing. Like the auction you plan is not for the next year; it's for the next 3 years. So I
Yes,
guess dropping Fab from that point of view is very apt because I don't see Fab playing for the next 3 years. To be very honest, he may play the next IPL at the max or for 2 years, but I don't see Fab playing for the next 3 years. So it was very good that they got rid of him now. But hindsight, they would go for him in the auctions. I feel.
but
Do you
one
have any
more.
surprise drops for each teams?
Yeah, if I go first, so going with the Rajasthan Royals, I believe the two decisions which they made of dropping Ben Stokes and Livingstone is something which really surprises me because both these players is someone who just bring the balance in the team. So going with the Livingstone, the kind of record that he has in the national team and moreover in the tournaments which are played outside like Big Bash League or any other such leagues is immense. And moreover, going with the Ben Stokes, he is one of the best all-rounders in the world at the moment. And dropping him and going with the Yashasvi Jaiswal is something which really bothers me at the moment.
I would like to go
Ganesh?
next.
All
Okay.
right, go
Yeah,
on, Gautam.
like Gautam, you go ahead.
I would say KL Rahul. Like we all know what cricketing brain Anil Kumble has, but they weren't able to make KL Rahul stay in the auction. I would like to take the example of Kolkata Knight Riders in that extent. If you see, the players they retained was Andrew Russell for 12 crores, Varun Chakravarti for 8 crores, but his purse was 12 crores to be deducted, and Iyer and Narain for 6 crores, which means you are retaining Narain for 6 crores. They were able to make them satisfy and they were able to get them on board. But even they were Punjab was not able to retain KL Rahul. That was a blunder, and also SRH wasn't able to retain Rashid Khan. Rashid Khan is almost playing all around the world, man. Like if you are not able to get him on board, that doesn't make sense. Okay, we know Warner was not in very good terms with them, but hindsight they should have retained Rashid Khan at the least.
Sriram?
Yeah,
Like I felt like from RCB's point of view, like I think they should have retained Chahal, given that they have like one more spot like vacant, and leaving of Chahal is like I think it's a mistake. Like having one of the finest spinners, leg spinners in the world, and like even Chennai doesn't have a proper spinner, and they are managing with for 20 overs. And in spite of that, like RCB is having a proper spinner, and they are leaving him. I don't think like whether it's a valid point or not.
What do you think, Ganesh?
Firstly, I like to reply Gautam. Like Rahul wanted to leave, like willingly. It's not like Kumble wouldn't have tried to stop him, or the management wouldn't have offered 16 crore to Rahul. It wouldn't have been like that, I believe. And Rahul wanted to leave, he left. But what I was surprised the most was that Punjab didn't retain Aiden Markram or neither Shah Rukh Khan. Like Punjab has problem in finishing the game. That's the major problem with Punjab since the past 2 years. So like maybe the staff could have groomed Shah Rukh Khan in future. He's a great finisher. We know he has recently won the Mustafa Ali Trophy on the very last ball. So like he's a great finisher. Maybe they could have retained him and groomed him for future. And another like Aiden Markram can brilliantly handle the middle order in T20 format. So like I was really surprised they didn't went for either one of them.
Okay, but going forward by the discussion, I can sense you guys have been commenting about the teams which did mistakes, and I couldn't spot a team, the Mumbai Indians.
Oh,
The,
Is there
the
anything that the Mumbai Indians? I mean, the thing. Is there a perfect retention? You guys
I
haven't
would say
spoke about the team a lot.
it's a perfect retention. You are making a Karen Pollard agree for 6 crores, man. Like that's a great bonus for you, right? He's almost. I know it's ages over certain time, but he's still a asset. Like he keeps on fielding very much better. He keeps batting well, and he's able to do the performances again and again. They were able to retain him for a 6 crore. That's why the team logic and the think tank behind it works. I know Kohli, Rahul, and Kumble haven't had a great relationship in the past, but I
yeah.
guess they should have been in good mending terms. They should have talked things. And hindsight, Rahul leading Punjab would have been a much better decision because like he had an emotional 2 years connect with them. Like Punjab fans were very much after him. Like they were amazed of Rahul's skills,
yeah,
and we could
Yeah,
always
like
see the
yeah.
cricketing shots he plays. Hindsight, they should have retained KL Rahul to say the least, but yeah, it didn't work. But Mumbai has done a very good logic in this. They are able to retain players in a better budget. Retaining Pollard for
And
6 crores was a bonus
Talking
thing.
about Pollard, I still remember the way he smashed through the Chennai bowling lineup in the last match of Phase One.
yeah,
It was a match that was in the basket of Chennai, but then the man went into the field with 11 players around him, plucked the ball from the basket and brought it back home. That is someone you need in
and
your team.
moreover, the respect which he the understanding which he just shares with the Mumbai team is really immense. Cause playing 150 odd matches for a single franchise over the years is something which is really really commendable. And the
Yeah.
trust which has Mumbai shown in him is it's really good. Cause they are showing that yes, these are the match winners for us, and we are backing them. So it's something which we are doing it in forward too. And if I talk about the perfect retention, so same goes with Delhi because they have returned four players, and in that Rishabh Pant, Akshar Patel, Prithvi Shaw, and Nottage, they are all class players. Because going with the Pant, he is going to be the next captain or so if he plays the way he does, and moreover Akshar Patel being an all rounder and Shaw being a opener and Nottage being a exceptionally fast bowler. So I believe there can't be anything much better than this retention. Because
I would
We
say
dropping
have a
they
controversial
miss
drop
Rabada.
in Team Delhi. It's Rabada.
Rabada,
But
yeah.
Rabada and Nortis were two bowlers which I believe if someone just close their eyes and pick any one of them, they will win the matches for the team because they both are class players, and you
I
can't just
still feel
compare.
they weren't able to convince Rabada for the number fourth option.
Yeah.
Exactly. That could be
That,
a reason,
that
probably, because
because
Rabada
hindsight,
is someone
Rabada
who will
has
win
had a.
matches even in the last over.
Mhm.
And
Imagine the
same
four
goes with
over
Shreyas
ago.
Iyer too. If we are talking about the players, so Shreyas Iyer has lifted the team from where Gautam Gambhir left, and backing and just transforming the team. And I believe, yeah, I think he has not captained in the last season because of the injury, but in the last past 2 years before that, so he captained the team and made Delhi reach the final for the first time.
Uh,
So
I think
dropping,
that is one of the main reasons Shreyas is leaving. I read about it. Like Shreyas want to be a leader, and he wants to be captain of a team. Like maybe he'll join Ahmedabad or the Lucknow team,
yeah,
most probably.
Most probably,
Like
he's going to lead a franchise, I think.
Like
I
it will
just
be like
wanted to bring back Mumbai Indians into the picture. Like, I don't know whether there was a trade-off between Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar Yadav. Like being a Chennai fan, like I was seeing the last league match, the Mumbai Indians versus SRH, and I was like, Ishan Kishan was literally like scoring boundary of each and every ball. Like and me being a Chennai fan, I was not worried like whether Mumbai Indians will qualify or not. So I just wanted to see him play the entire 20 overs. So it was like that kind of batting, and I don't know like why they left him and they went for Surya Kumar Yadav.
Ishan
I
That
think
was
Kishan's
it's better.
99 against RCB is still one of my favorites.
Oh, that's
I
like
guess
best
he
innings.
is that kind of Suresh Raina kind of player. When on his day,
mhm.
like he
Oh,
can go
definitely.
all
Yeah,
guns.
yeah,
Talking
yeah.
about Suresh Raina, that is a drop
Yeah,
that Chennai
I
should
need.
be.
I'll take that from here.
I still
Drop
feel either Chennai or his hometown Uttar Pradesh, that's Lucknow,
Ahmedabad.
are going to
Luck,
pick him.
Achha, sir. हाँ, yeah, Lucknow. Yeah,
Lucknow.
Lucknow.
Like
Correct.
I guess they both might go after him.
Lucknow,
Not
most
sure.
probably. I'll bet on Lucknow.
But the
Because
camaraderie which Dhoni and Raina share,
yeah, that's
yeah,
that.
this is, and moreover the lean patch which Suresh Raina is having for the past, I believe, 1 or 2
Also, Kunal,
years.
what's your opinion on Delhi not going after Ashwin and picking an Akshar Patel in T20?
Yeah, I believe that's a dicey one because as we all know that Ashwin being a test specialist, being an all rounder, but coming to the T21, so we know the Aksa Patel can score quick runs at the fag end
Yeah,
of the inning. But if we are talking about Ashwin, so he can score runs, but at a strike rate of 100 or odd. So this is something which
But I don't see Akshar Patel batting a lot in that Delhi lineup. Like he
no,
comes at
no, no,
number
no.
6 down or 7
If
down, right?
if we see the matches, so I recall one match wherein he smashed around 40 odd runs in 20 odd balls. So that's something which is required at the fag end of the inning.
Well,
But talking about retentions and Raina talking about all Akshar Patel and Ashwin, I could see fan blood boiling here. I could see Sriram coming out to back Chennai's case, Ganesh showing his passion for Punjab. At the same time, Gautam and Kunal are trying to be as neutral as possible. We have two fanboys and two neutral fans. That's what I like to say here.
that's
So, like,
that
let's talk about something more interesting. Let's talk about who the players are going to pick, the two new IPL teams that are coming in, or who the players the IPL team should buy back, or who the players should target outside their pool, or I mean, the players who were not a part of the team. So these are topics that are going to be discussed further. So stay tuned. We'll be getting back with you on another episode.